So welcome to the September pod. We're going to start with a poem by David Whyte, and then we are going to take just a couple of minutes of silence. So get yourself comfy, sit back in your chairs, close your eyes, relax. It's called The Bell and the Blackbird. The sound of a bell still reverberating, or a blackbird calling from a corner of the field, asking you to wake into this life, or inviting you deeper into the one that waits. Either way takes courage. Either way wants you to be nothing but that self that is no self at all. Wants you to walk to the place where you find you already know how to give every last thing away. The approach that is also the meeting itself, without any meeting at all. That radiance you have always carried with you as you walk both alone and completely accompanied in friendship by every corner of the world, crying, hallelujah. I'm just going to take 2 minutes now of silence. Sit back, enjoy. Start to take a couple of deep breaths through your nose, sigh out through your mouth. Start to come back into the room. Welcome, everybody. How are we doing? Good to see so many people. I was getting a lot of messages through the email yesterday and today just going, oh, I'm still on holiday, or I can't make today, which, it is what it is. But it is the first day of autumn officially by the meteorological clock, because it's the 1st of September. It's also one of my best friend's 50th birthday party. So we were at a meal last night, hence why I'm in this crazy space. This isn't, for those of you who don't know me, this isn't the normal background. So this is all hand painted. It's fascinating. So it's down a place called the Bell in Ticehurst in Kent, if anyone knows Kent. But it's a bell and the sign of the first of our 50th of our friendship group. So mine comes around in January, and it all is slowly happening. Some of you have been through that already, and others of you are just going, yeah, what does 50 even look like? So it'll come. Today you've got me. I am going to be the guest, and what I thought we would do is use the space and time for us. So for those of you who've never been to a pod before, they were started a good 4 or 5 years ago in a different guise. And then during COVID, that infamous period of all our lives in 2020, I wrote an email on this. I can still see it now. I wrote an email on the 16th of March to about 30 people and just said, hey, something's coming down the line. We don't know really what it is. you fancy getting together on Friday and just being there for one another and just having a chat? And basically, that was the birthplace of what you are sitting in now. And we then had 20 weeks of coming together during the summer of 2020. And some of you were there, I know that. And I can see the smiles and the nods. And you found the community then. I suddenly realized doing it every week is quite exhausting, as much as I love the community and I love all of you and being able to hang out and have great, juicy conversations. So we moved it to once a month. And it's always on the first Friday of the month, and it's always on this Zoom link. So if you are someone who likes to have things in your diary, just so you know something's coming up, feel free to make a, what do you call it, reoccurring invite, and you can just use the same Zoom link. It will always be there. Sometimes we have a guest and a big topic, and other times it's me. So it's me this month. And what I thought we'd do is a bit of reflection over what we've done in the summer, and then some intention setting for autumn, if you're up for that. So to help you, I suggest finding your favorite pad and pen. If you've got a notepad, you've got your pen handy, or your Remarkable, Ruth. I've suddenly realized I haven't brought my Remarkable with me. Or your SOF pad, Rita. Still got it. Nice. So and what we'll do is I've got some questions and I will put them into, I'll say them out loud. We'll do some like solo work, and then we'll go into breakout rooms so you can have a little chat, because if there's one thing I've learned about this group, you love a good chat. Well, so do I. And meeting other people and being able to connect. And I think that's so, so important. That's one of the, I think one of the values of SOF, connect, learn and share. So I know time is well spent in the breakout rooms. It's not like when we're with all our other maybe clients, dare I say this, and you put them into breakout rooms and you think, what are they doing in there? Are they actually talking? Are they doing the task I've set them? And we all live in that utter fear. So I have no worry about that. When I look around this screen, I know exactly what's going to be going off in those rooms. It's actually hard. I'm glad I can just bring you back virtually, because I think if we were in real time, it would be really hard to invite you to come back from a conversation. It'd be like, no, no, no. It'll happen next year. We'll make it happen. Okie dokie. So grab your pad and pen. We'll do some summer reflections first. And if you are doing other things and you're just using this as a way of listening, maybe ruminate on the questions as I read them out loud. I'll also put them in the chat box, so it makes it really easy for people to see. So the first question, they come in pairs. So the first questions are around gratitude, and they are this: what are you most grateful for from over the summer? And what were the highlights and things that you're most thankful for from the last 3 months? So just take a moment to capture your thoughts. What are you most grateful for? And what are your highlights? You've just arrived in the room. We're doing some reflection on the summer. So the question is, what are you most grateful for over the summer? And what were your highlights that you're thankful for? just put the questions back in because a few people have just joined, so they won't see them in the chat. Okay. Here's the next couple of questions. Now, with the light comes a little bit of dark, the rough with the smooth. So here's another couple of questions. What has been difficult over the last 3 months and what challenged you? Okay. Slightly different to the first set of questions about around gratitude and thankfulness, but what are you really proud of from this summer? And what are your biggest achievements? And it doesn't have to just be about your work. Like, you are way more than your work. And I think we all know in the space that we inhabit as facilitators, trainers, solopreneurs, often our work and ourselves get tied together anyway. So, especially in identity. So, what are you most proud of? What do you want to shout about and tell others that maybe you don't because you're all too self-effacing and polite, especially if you're British? Because I know that not everyone's British on here. Okay, so we're going to go into breakout rooms. I think I've got everybody in pairs. Yes. Nick Barr, are you going to join us? I can see you walking around.
I will. I'm going to be up at my desk in like a minute. I'm nearly finished walking around, so it's all good.
Lovely. Joanna will wait for you. I can see she's there. So 10 minutes in the room. Introduce yourself. Say hello. It might be someone you know. It might be someone you don't know. And share as much or as little as you would like about the questions and your answers and your thoughts and your noticings. And then you've got 10 minutes and I think you'll get 30-second warning. And then thankfully Zoom will zap you back here. So I don't have to go running around the ether trying to find you. Okay. I'm opening the rooms, accept the invite, and enjoy your conversations. Okie dokie, welcome back. How was that? It would be lovely to hear some voices in the room. Just share your own noticings, not necessarily your partner's. So yeah, who'd like to share? Way too short. It's always too short, Suzanne. I know that.
Kirsty, I'm going to be completely honest. I was with Fiona and we were chatting, and I do apologize about that. Well, I don't apologize because we were getting to know each other and what they do. But I did write some really good things about my own reflections. One of the good things is I'm really always quite positive by having good friends, business as well as personal friends that I can always reach out to when I'm stuck in a moment. And I did that yesterday, and I've done that numerous times. And I reach out to people just to, and again, I've reached out to yourself in the past, Kirsty. So I always appreciate that because it really helps me, especially if I'm stuck or I just need some burst of inspiration. So that part I'm significantly grateful for. So, and everyone else in the room that I've spoken to before.
Lovely. I actually, interesting, Jason, I wrote something very similar. I said friends and being able to have conversations.
Yeah. One last thing. And I interviewed Bodhi on my podcast as well, which I released this week. And I appreciate that as well, because he's an interesting guy. And I really liked what we did June, May, or whenever it was.
May. For those of you who may not have been there, so Bodhi is, I think he's an elder. I think we're going to call him an elder. And he's Australian, and he came on and talked about the lovely subject of masculine and feminine energy, which is always an interesting one to try and articulate and unpick. So if you're curious, to get to know Bodhi and the topic, it is sitting on our YouTube channel, School of Facilitation. We have a YouTube channel, and it's on there, so you can watch it back.
I did it on sales because we spoke beforehand, and we had a really good, interesting perspective on sales. So really love that.
Oh, Jason, stick your link to your podcast in the chat if you want to. Okay, someone else. What were you noticing? Either put your hand up or put your voice in the room. Kit.
How nice it is to talk about your achievements and to be able to share it with someone and just feel really good about it and hear about their achievements as well, and how you kind of it's just such a good feeling, you know, to just take a moment to acknowledge that, because we can just be so busy that we kind of skip over it.
Yeah, I hear you. I can see lots of people nodding around the room as well. Okay, honest time. How many of us, I like your language, Kit, skip over our achievements and just go, oh yeah, that thing, or oh yeah, I did that. Hands up. Bit of honest time. Yeah. I wonder why we do it. Like, why don't we acknowledge it? And I don't know if it's I don't know, not all of you are British here, but the Brits were not great at wanting to think we're blowing our trumpet. I don't know.
But it's actually true. If I want to say something, I work with an incredible woman called Emma, and you know, she just has this thing that we don't do it every time, but you know, once a quarter or whatever, she says, okay, before we start, just want to note down our achievements for the last quarter or the last 6 months on Post-its, and we share them, and it takes 20 minutes, and then we fold them up and we say, okay, we're going to look at them when we feel down or everything is shit, and that's it. And it's wonderful. We just move on, right? We just acknowledge our achievements. Fantastic.
Nice.
But it takes somebody to prompt it, a facilitator.
Yeah, it does. Oh, you're in the right space for that. Hey, Joanna, how are you?
Okay, thank you. I just noticed in our conversation how important it is to acknowledge summer and family and taking time out. And my parents are both 90, and me and my siblings took a short week with them to celebrate their joint 90th. The original five, we called ourselves, with no spouses, no children. So rare to get us together and just enjoyed each other. And it might, who knows whether we'll do that again, given the time scale. But it is just lovely to say, actually, we've done all right. Mum and Dad have done really well. We're good friends, and aren't we lucky?
Amazing.
And that's real fuel, I think.
Yeah. We forget even to do that. It doesn't have to be some big grand gesture. It can be something super simple.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Who else? Let's have one other voice.
Hi, I'll just say hello.
Hello, Jill.
I was trying to tame my impulse control because I am a bit of a talker. I just want to say it was fabulous. I met the gorgeous Evelyn. So I was in the breakout room with her, and which was fantastic. I just want to say special thank you to Jason, because only for Jason I would not be here today, who I met in the flesh during the week. So I thank you, Jason, for opening up this room of a potentiality and being able to connect with everybody. So I'm really, really grateful. So that was kind of in the last 3 months. And again, grateful for opportunities, grateful, to be able to spend time with family, and grateful to having the belief, but I've had to work on that on myself.
Yeah.
Just as you were saying, someone was saying about that, I suppose, writing down all your gratitudes, believing in yourself, which helps to change your chemical state as well, which is fantastic. So that's something that I have had to work on. But I just want to say thank you, and special thanks to Jason.
Oh,
thank you.
Love it. The lovers in the room today. This is great. Sorry, I've just seen the chat with Camilla inviting us all to Spain for the next SOF gathering. I think anyone from Northern Europe, with the weather we've had, Camilla, will be there like that.
Brilliant. I'm coming for the London one in September, so let's organize the next one in Spain.
Oh, Camilla, I've cancelled September because no one had signed up and I had to pay the room. So quick one. If anyone was planning to come in September, tell me now, because I could put it back in, but I need 10 people. And Zoe, you've suddenly gone, it's my fault for not advertising it enough. So I've taken it out. But we've got December, which is the Christmas gathering, which is the best one, which is Christmas lunch and vision boarding and a whole day of people and partying and celebrating. What was the date in September? I love that, Rhiannon. What was the date? Friday the 29th. No, it's not a Friday. Friday 27th?
Yeah.
It's Friday the 29th, of December or September?
No, September.
Someone
diary open. And the date in December is, you're testing me now, team. Friday the 8th. Is it Friday the 8th? Can anyone see their diary? Ruth's giving me the thumbs up. It'll be Friday the 8th of December. Come, you want to meet people, have a cup of tea, eat biscuits, make vision boards, have a big Christmas lunch and celebrate. Phil, I tell you, it's a quiet affair. Phil, you look like a trucker today. That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks, mate. I'm thinking about career change.
Right. I'm going off on one, and that's not fair on you guys. Should we do a bit of autumn intention setting? So a few thoughts around autumn and what it's going to bring. I'm just assuming everybody's in the Northern Hemisphere, by the way. Have we got anyone in the Southern Hemisphere? I want to say, because they're going into spring. So here we go for a bit of autumn. How do you want to feel during autumn? How do you want to feel next 3 months? How do you want to feel? Okay, next question. I think this is probably more for me, but it might resonate with some of you as well. What would you like to complete that you've been putting off? What would you like to complete that you have been putting off? I don't know if you've got a sense of this yet, but what do you want it to gather in and potentially harvest in the coming months?
Kirsty, what do you mean by that? Sorry.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
I don't understand the question.
Interpret it as you see fit. What do you want to gather in? It could be anything. Is it something you've been doing? You want to go and learn? You want to pull towards you? Is there something you've been working on over the last 3 months or even the last year? Okay. So, would you like same group, pair, or would you like different? Fancy meeting someone different? You don't really mind, do you? Like, look at you all. It's all good either way you say. Right, I've just thrown it up in the air and recreated it. So you will find you are with, I think, someone different. She says, just checking. Yes, you are. Okie dokie. I'm going to just give slightly shorter purely because yet again, time is coming up. 7 minutes, rooms are open. Go meet someone, talk about what are you sensing into for the energy of autumn.
No.
Hello, welcome back, team. So it'd be lovely to hear some thoughts about your autumn intentions. Who wants to put their voice in the room? Ruth, hey.
I'll let Stuart go actually, because we're in the same room, so I'll let you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, for myself, it was a piece about the small group that I work with about regrouping. That was one of the things we wanted to do. I wanted to do. I'm aware that we need to take some of our own medicine. It's one of these situations where we've been so sort of focused on our own individual roles for a while that actually we don't do that own team development piece. So next 14 days, I'm going to make sure we do something that regroups ourselves as much for my own need to make sure that as we go into autumn up to Christmas, I make sure that I'm in the best state, because I know that I get so immersed in work this time of year particularly. And I was saying as the nights draw in, I don't create enough space for myself. So my plan is to create a bit more space for myself to be more balanced going into Christmas, because I would love to join your Christmas do in December. So maybe I should create that as a bit of a target and as a refocus of my balance as well. So
that would be amazing.
That would be great.
Just Stuart lives in the Lake District as well, so I know that's
yes. I have to get on the train.
You have to get on a train.
That's fine.
That would be incredible. Thank you. Ruth, did you want to share though as well?
Yeah, just building on what Stuart said, we were talking about, because I've written down for the autumn, how do I want to feel? Steady, still, spacious and productive. And we were talking about creating space around the productive time. Because I was trying to think, like, out of our week or out of my week, how many hours do I really need to be properly focused and doing things that, it might be like 10 hours or something. So then it's about how do I create space around that 10 hours to make that 10 hours 10, not 30 over a longer period because I'm limping along. So, just not focus, sort of less is more, I think, sort of doing it out, then going for a walk, then coming back and taking a question out into nature, or really creating the big space around things. If I feel I'm pushing or that I'm not being productive, to literally catch it earlier and be like, right, Ruth, off for a walk, do something different. This is not an endurance exercise, running a business. This is about
no. And we've got to remind ourselves it's not an endurance exercise. We've chosen to do this. We've chosen to work for ourselves, be freelancers, form a small business. And if you suddenly catch up, I'm talking to myself here, by the way, if you catch yourself going, oh, I'm a slave to the system, like, what have I done to create those conditions? It's like, only I have done that. Like, I can't point the finger at anybody else. So it's time to sort of stop, pause, and turn it around, or reevaluate. Who else would like to share something they spoke about in their room? Who's not spoken today?
I'd like to say something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Faris.
Do Faris and then Ethna.
Oh, never do get people just rush forward. Wow. Hello, everybody. I'm new to the group. What took me is some of the things we want to achieve. We spent talking about are actually things we've always wanted to achieve, which was around articulating what we do clearer. And it's something that you can never stop investing in. And it's like, I've been running my business for 4 years, and I was like, I hope I'd got that clear by now. But it's become apparent in some conversations over the summer where people have literally gone to me, sorry, what is it you do? That I'm like, okay, I really need to reinvest in sharpening this. And it was funny that that echoed with the person I was chatting to with.
Funny, Faris. I said the same to Lizzie when we were just chatting, and I was like, same and different. I don't need to. I'd like to update the SOF website, because if you ever look at it, it's very focused on facilitators and trainers. And if you're a corporate, you get absolutely minimal sense about what it is we actually do. And considering most of my work is corporate work, so Faris, same and different. And I think if anyone's on the journey in the early years, just know that we're always refining what we do. If I look back where I started with my first business in 2008, it was called Blue Tortoise, and then I was an associate, and I was a sales, predominantly all around sales training and development. And so it does change, and you do shift, but I think your businesses grow with you. Like, you've changed. Look where you are just 4 years on, and where you started. Like, so it's ever evolving. So it's a good habit, I think. Ethna, hello, lovely. How are you?
Not too bad. The only thing I want to say is today is officially my first day as a business owner. So I've been working towards this for probably a long time. I'm also 50. That's a significant, I think that was one of the driving forces. So after 28 years of local authority, which they've been trying to drag me back kicking and screaming over the summer, which I'm grateful for, kinda. This is officially the first day. I'm no longer registered manager, it's interesting, because 10 years ago, I loved the job, and I did love the job, and I am grateful for it, but I couldn't wait to leave it behind. It was so interesting. It was the first time I could turn my phone off at night and leave it outside the room. Those who work in children's homes or residential, it's 24/7, etc. So that was all very interesting. And I've spoken to 2 fantastic women this morning, and I think getting the balance, I think, is going to be, because I'm Irish, I can be full on, and I can go at full force, and I'll do it all the time. Do you know what I mean? And I will burn myself out if I'm not mindful and seen. So autumn, I was going to tell you, Kirsty, because one of my plans, my autumn, is the flourishing facilitator. I want to, and I will do, get enough profit that I'm going to do that in the spring. That's one of my that's one of my targets. I know, I can't wait. That's one of my treats kind of thing. That's kind of what one of my targets that I want to do. But for the next 3 months, I want to be happy. And I know that's a journey. It's not a destination. And I'm big into mindset. I've done all that. So I know that. And as you just said, I've made this choice. So I'm responsible for it. So if I start feeling similar to what I was feeling the last 5 years with the local authority, I need to reflect on that. I need to, and something has happened that there is something in my gut. You know, I do believe, you know, our gut and our brains were the same when we were embryos and when they separate. There's something not sitting well with me, and I came up in meditation this morning, and I'm going to address it. I've decided I'm going to have to address it because I'm not sharing IP. What I don't understand. What the hell's all that about? I'm going to address it. So that's kind of interesting. So it's all very exciting and also terrifying.
It's very exciting. I can feel the energy fizzing down the line. And well, congratulations. And as you said, like this is your day one, the smiles around the room, the applause, the love for it. So we've all been there. And we know what it's like those first few weeks, like first few months, first few years. I was talking to someone else about it yesterday, is we still think we should be at our desk at a certain time, or you need to be doing certain things. The exciting thing is you now get to create your own reality. You get to create your own workspace. So have fun with that. And yes, you're going to notice the tugs and the pulls in your habits and your behaviors as to, but this is what I normally do. And that's okay. That's just part of the detangling of the untangling. That's the word. But congratulations. Good to see you again. And I'd love you to come on the Flourishing Facilitator.
Definitely.
The next one starting in September, and then the next one starts in February 2024. That's your target. One more voice. I know some of you might need to go, but let's just have one more voice if anyone wants to share. Kit, you got to go. You're saying goodbye. Ronka.
Yes, I can share. I shared with the other two ladies that this morning in my journaling, I'd asked myself some questions around 3 words to describe August, 3 words I wanted to describe September, and 3 people who could help me to get to that place. So this was really good just to bring all of that back. And in terms of moving forward into the next 3 months, the feelings that I want to really hold on to, because there's lots happening. My son is going back to university, lots of different moving parts. So I want to really hold on to a sense of peace in the midst of everything happening. And when I said it, I really just connected with just the feeling that I want to be able to have, and also a sense of awe. I don't want to miss out on what's going on around me because life is busy, but really looking at so many things happening through the lens of awe and wonder. Oh, wow, that's happened. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And to really, so I want to gather in lots of that feeling and just see what it blooms into. So I'm really grateful it's time to reflect on that.
I loved it. Oh, I've got a big smile. Thank you for sharing that. So something's going around my head and I'm just going to put it out there, and then I need to work out how to make it happen. I'm just wondering whether, because a lot of you were saying, you know, it's good to celebrate, it's good to have people to talk to when you've got a challenge, ask the question of, it's useful to just know that there's other people around. I've never done a WhatsApp group for SOF, and I'm just wondering whether there would be benefit. And I know some of you are part of WhatsApp groups, and you can choose to be part of it, you mute it, yada, yada, yada. But whether there would be benefit on setting up like a community group on WhatsApp so people can just be there, chat, ask questions. I'd have to work out, but I know some people are already part of those types of communities. Just whether that would be useful going forwards. And then I can share things like the dates for the gatherings, and that way be a bit more proactive. Is it a maybe, or I'm overwhelmed with WhatsApp groups already? Can't be asked. Yeah, there's that. Some thumbs up, maybes. Okay. I'll have a think about how I might do it. I join it, then mute it. I think that's very true. That's what many people do. I'll try it and see. Love it. Okay, I'll work out how to do it, but it's in a way that's easy to get messages out. Yes, the September gathering is definitely cancelled. I'm having a day of planning instead with one of my team about marketing for 2024 and getting it right. So that is the official end of the September gathering. I'd like to say a massive thank you for you all being here today. If you want to watch it back, you can. It'll go up onto YouTube in about a week's time. If you'd like to stay for the after party, I'm going to hang out for another 15 minutes. So feel free to hang back, come to the kitchen, have a cup of tea with me, and a bit of a chat if you would like. Otherwise, thank you for being here. We'll be back in October. I'm just trying to sort out my guests for October. And I think the guest, she said yes, I'm just looking at my phone. It's going to be Kat, and she's going to be doing, who's Kat Hayes. I always get her name wrong. She hates me for it. We're going to do creativity and play in facilitation. So if you fancy a bit of a creativity and play, Kat is going to lead us on a dance in early October. Is it the 1st of October? She says, not knowing the date. The 6th. Thank you, Phil. 6th of October. See you then. Otherwise, maybe hang out now. Thank you for being here today.